We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
With Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Fitch, when I think about what's going on and the Trump arrests and the indictments and the prison stuff, and then I go with today's headline here about the CIA.
Soviet Russia.
Well, it's just like, okay, Judicial Watch is suing the CIA. It's like, my president went to prison and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Wah, wah, wah. Like, that's what it feels like. Even if, like, somehow, some way, Judicial Watch wins some lawsuit for some monetary gain.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Banana circus.
So let's talk about, I had an interesting conversation with a woman who's now known as like Tracy Beans. Now, I didn't know much about Tracy Beans other than she had been really associated with the QAnon nonsense for some time and definitely had a lot of hopium. But unbeknownst to me, before I had her on my Making Sense of the Madness show this week, I had actually met her on several occasions, and she was at an event. She didn't go by Tracy Beans. It was Tracy something else. Anybody can find it, but whatever. And we were discussing this last event that I had done with G. Edward Griffin. And I just saw G. Edward again this past weekend in Des Moines at the Red Pill Expo. And, she was really one of these beyond Trump hopium cheerleaders at a point, right? And now she's flipped in the complete opposite direction. She realized it was all a scam. She realizes it was all hopium. She now realizes that they're going to put Trump in prison. And she asked a really great question. What happens after that in this country? You got an answer? Let's think about it for a second. Because honestly, it's something that's unprecedented, not only in our generation, right, John?
They lock him up over it won't be forever. They'll lock him up for a short period of time while they appeal. They'll win the appeal. So he'll be out like in 4 years. He'll be the 2024 election will be over with. He won't be able to participate, and then he'll be out of the next one, and then he's too old. So that's the whole plan.
If you look at the charges and the amount of years, I don't know about appeals, and I think he's getting convicted in more than one jurisdiction. That's the next move. I was convinced. Remember, listen. If you remember, I said they were going to put him in jail years ago now. When he said he was going to run again, but I always thought it was out of the 4 cases that are now brought, it was going to be the D.C. case for sure, and maybe the Florida case, right, with the classified documents. Now, with the RICO case and what they did in Atlanta. It is, they don't really have to do much. Did you see that case?
Not. No,
Okay.
I saw a big hoopla about who was reading off the.
It's all bullshit, but this is
Yeah.
the thing. They indicted 18 other people in the circus, but wait, that's not all. So other than the 18 people they named that they're charging and indicting and also supposedly going to try to put in prison, which include Giuliani and Powell. I mean, you go down the line, everybody, okay? They got another 30 other co-conspirators they're going to indict, and just think about this, John.
I mean, it's over. Like it's like full scale tyranny and control. Like who's stopping them now? Because there's just enough stuff to prosecute the Biden family.
Just enough.
I mean, there's plenty enough. There's plenty enough, and nobody's even talking about it. But they're gonna lock up political opposition in mass, and everybody's just gonna be okay with it. And
Are
they're gonna
they?
pretend that.
Do you think that's what happens? Do you really think everybody's going to be okay with it? I'm a little more worried that they're not going
Well,
to be.
what do the conservatives ever do but cry and whine about crap until they finally give in?
I get it, man. But I think if that's the case, if all they do is cry and whine, I think some of them end up starting to go to jail too. Like, let's say they start flipping people in jail in the Georgia case, the way they did like Manafort in the Russiagate case. Remember that? Think about that. That's a good example of how the system works. Remember, they went after Russiagate. They went after Manafort. They had nothing on Manafort in Russia. So then they went back like 17 years on some maybe crooked business deal and caught him in a lie on perjury and sent him to fucking prison. That's my point. We're in La La Land. So if they can put him, if they
Man,
can
Republic, they'll find a way. They'll find a way to make sense of whatever punishment they want to actually give you.
that's what I'm saying. And like once they put the ex-president in jail, and again, think about this. Throughout our
Who's done less than other ex-presidents?
less, normally you are totally exonerated of any kind of war crime you committed while in office as the president of the United States. No matter the dark of the dark that happened under your administration, there is no way to prosecute you. And now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there are 4 separate criminal more than indictments, 4 cases with multiple indictments on the guy, none of which have anything to do with any past war crime I've exposed or talked about, any kind of heinous genocide of any kind. No, it's all Johnny nonsense. This is the worst. Again, John, we have to think about this again. We've never seen it in our generation, John, but our parents have never seen it in their generation. And their parents' parents in this country, if they were here, have never seen this in our country. In fact,
it's the fall of America. It's the fall of the Republic.
I mean,
It's over. The American experiment is over.
Hey, everybody out there, like me, where your parents came over or your grandparents came over or your great-grandparents, either your grandparents or your great-grandparents came over like that World War II era. That's when my ancestors came over to the United States. That's how far back you have to go for those relatives of mine and many others to see a time when their presidents or their prime ministers were getting fucking arrested. And guess what? It wasn't happening in this country. People really need to understand how dangerous this is. A really different thing. And that's whether you have TDS or not. If you've got severe TDS right now, please think about what I just said. Like, it would be a hero's moment for me, Fitch, and I'm sure I'd be out in the street with pots and pans if they said, all of a sudden I woke up and it's like, extra, extra, read all about it. Bush and Cheney in prison for war crimes.
Yeah.
New 9/11 hearings. Philip Zelikow will face a jury with Condoleezza Rice. I'd be like, yes.
We're going back and prosecuting some bankers in 2008.
They've got the Goldman Sachs and Lehman Brothers lined up right now, and they're processing them.
There's the United States of America.
They've got them bent over to make sure they're not bringing any contraband, a.k.a. the rich man's aspirin, their nose candy. Those bankers love it. Not so much in here unless they do things they might not want to, Bill. I mean, that'd be a great day. That'd be a great day. That's not the day we're living in. It's the opposite of that day, actually. It's Fitch.
You do have some good news, though.
What's that?
Class certification. We have written class certification for the UFC class action antitrust lawsuit.
Let's hear about it.
Well, almost 3 years ago, Judge gave us a verbal oral decision saying that he was more than likely writing us as a class that has been damaged, at least for our bout class, the identity class he threw out, which I don't really agree with, because without the monopolization of the bout class, you can't get access to the identity class, but whatever. But he granted class certification, so he identified that all the fighters from that 2010 to 2017 time period were damaged in the same way, and it's about 1,200 guys. So we are all going to be represented for the lawsuit, the antitrust lawsuit. The decision written by the judge was also pretty scathing towards the USC and their practices.
Well, let's hear about it. What was the judge's ruling?
Well, I mean, like, the judge basically said what I've been alleging for a long time. It's like the UFC did not gain its market dominance by hard work and hustle and attaboy good stuff. They cheated. They used bad contracts and business practices, manipulation, all that great stuff to manipulate and monopolize the market and control guys' careers. So the judge did not have what seemed like a favorable opinion on them at all, and did not give their special sauce any credit for creating what the UFC's multi-billion-dollar platform is worth.
I mean, I don't know if I believe you, John. I think that people that came up from the Galveston crime family in Texas, and then you have an even bigger guy stepping in like Ari Emanuel, whose brother is Ram, dual Israeli-American citizen, the kind of guy that can take a $100+ million Saudi Arabian investment, and then when you go public and sell the company for $8 billion, just give them their money back and say, Khashoggi. Khashoggi. Here's your money back. Khashoggi. You get nothing. How do you like them Apple Saudis? They're not gangsters. Those are good people.
Not at all. Just close friends who do nice things for each other.
But again, we're in the dark cartoon. Listen, man, you know what? That's a great cue for this video right here. Oh, and this is really how the world works, everybody. I want everybody to understand exactly how the world works. I'm about to show you how the world works. You can have all the evidence in the world that you are, say, I don't know, a brutal, violent serial rapist that doesn't really care about your supposed wife and children continually, and they'll still sell you as some kind of a family man, despite that there are videos like this all over the tabloids. It's like, because this is what you do when you're a family man. You walk around with a bunch of women who are barely dressed. Only a month or so, maybe a month and a half or so, after you've been accused again of another possible sexual assault. That's how family men behave right here. They have and with a bottle of whiskey in a suit.
He's never fighting again. He's done. His career's done. He's just a little freak
Dana
show.
says he's fighting. He says this guy's fighting. Give me a break.
He's never fighting again.
This is the
His
most.
leg's broken.
How does this story end? What do you think, Fitch? What's the end of this story?
He's selling RVs.
I don't think he makes that far. I think that this is he runs. Listen, either he screws the wrong person over because this is a family man, dude. Dude, he's got babe. He loves D. Just think about. I mean, just think about the planet we're on right now in 2023, right? Mm-hmm. Like if we were kids, not even kids, we were teenagers. And the sports guy was trying to portray himself as a family man. If they caught you like with pictures with like two women outside the hotel or something, it would have been a scandal. There, the press is literally following him, taking videos and pictures, and they'll run headlines. Oh, him and D and his kids on the yacht again. Like,
no.
What planet are we on?
Bizarro world. It's not really press. There's no press. It's just PR. Majority of the stuff you see is just PR stuff.
I mean,
advertising.
I mean, listen. I like Judicial Watch. I think that dude who runs it is an all right guy. He's been around for a long time. He's been around since the 9/11 days. Is he perfect? No. But we need people that are going to fight and get documentation because we need raw documents in order to show how corrupt the system is. And of course, this thing did it again. Let's see if I can switch scenes, though. Yes, I can. Look at that, Fitch. Even though it blacked me out, I made a little dicka-dicka-do magic. I did some extensions, and now I can still... You can't beat me today, XSplit. You can't beat me today, technology. You've been a pain in my ass all week, but you can't beat me. All right. So, again, these guys are going to sue, right? It's great. Like, this is going to take years. If Trump's in prison and they win the lawsuit, who cares? And look, again, I was thinking about this, Fitch, and a lot of people were pissed about it. It's kind of like karma for him. Even if he was the best president we ever had, he still failed on a lot of issues. He's still extremely pig-headed. And it's not like he didn't screw people over in the past. Isn't that accurate?
He screwed me over with blocking our subcommittee hearing on the Ali Expansion Act.
Talk about that. Please talk about that.
No, we lobbied hard. We have something like 58 sponsors on both sides of the aisle. It was pretty even. And we got a subcommittee hearing. Randy Couture gave a nice little speech. I was down there too, hanging out. And after the subcommittee hearing, they're supposed to come to a vote. Well, Dana White, it was buddy with Trump, and Trump had one of his guys was the lead or the whip of that subcommittee, and he was able to bury the vote. So it never came up while they were in session. So we're waiting for Mark Wayne Mullen to reintroduce the bill again.
And there you go. Listen, and the other thing is we just showed McGregor, and the bottom line is that Conor McGregor only really got back into the United States in 2019 for the cowboy fix, the cowboy fight, because of the relationship between Donnie T and Dana White. He was still under investigation. They still hadn't decided that they weren't going to prosecute him. All signs pointed to a direct Donnie T, come on in, Conor McGregor. And look, that's the whole, I love MMA. I love UFC. The card this coming weekend, I can't wait. I'm very excited about it, okay? I'll be very honest. Can't wait to watch it. At the same time, I know this is an organization that has covered up for Conor McGregor again and again, and Conor McGregor has hurt women specifically again and again, allegedly. That's not cool, everybody. In fact, did you see this? I don't really follow other sports anymore, I used to follow sports a lot more. But have you seen this story about the baseball player yet?
No, I have not.
Well, why don't we talk about that?
I haven't been keeping up with a lot of the modern sports balls.
So
You know,
let's see. I got to go to the macros here. Let's bring it on up. So apparently this is the number one pick in baseball. Okay. And one of the biggest stars in the league. He's 22 years old. And he might never play baseball again because it's alleged he was with a minor. In fact, a 12-year-old. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. It says 12-year. It's a 17-year-old girl. So it's not 12. That's at least a little bit better. But still, you're a multimillionaire now. You've got all these eyes on you. You're 22 years old anyway, whether you have money or not. Why are you with a 17-year-old? Like, I get it. It's only 5 years, guys, but like, is this going to be the only case? And he's denied it, but we'll see. We'll see, John. We'll see. And he's worth a lot of money to a lot of people. So I'm sure if it's just the 17-year-old case that comes into the public arena, no matter what the case is and what he's done in the past or what he might do in the future, there is a machine.
it will depend a lot on the state and city with their jurisdictions. 'Cause I know California is kind of gross. I think they have a 10-year.
Oh, you told me that.
Allowance, yeah. It's like, so if he's 22, he'd be cleared with a 12-year-old. It's gross.
Well, apparently there's more investigations coming in. Okay? This kid signed a 12-year, $223 million extension with the Rays in 2021. I mean, that's some scratch. That's all I'm saying. So when you're worth that much money to people, just saying, things happen. Kevin Spacey beat every single one of his court cases.
Yep. Some accidentally of them died.
I don't know.
Out of nowhere. I don't know how it happened.
I don't know how that happened either. So, and it's so weird that, for instance, the Hunter Biden cases just keep taking forever, right? Like over and over and over and over again. But somehow they're going to fast track all these Donnie T cases at the same exact time. Here's a little something that's funny. I think people will get a.
It's just, I don't even want to pay attention anymore. It's so ridiculous. It's so over the top that any of this is happening. I can't believe that people haven't started storming the Capitol for real.
Well,
it's had enough.
We don't listen. We're on YouTube right now, and I wanted to let people know right now we do not encourage violence at all here or storming the Capitol.
Thing since 9/11.
So, a lot of people are sitting here going, Trump's gonna be able to present all this evidence. No, they're not going to let him actually present the evidence. But I want everybody to look at this. So Trump included in his request for a 2026 trial date. Again, he wants all this after 2024. This graphic comparing what they say is the volume of information potentially helpful to President Trump if stacked as compared to the height of the Washington Monument. So let's get a better look at this. So this is actually, in their court filing. So they say, stated differently, if we print and stacked 11.5 million pages of documents with no gap between pages at 200 pages per inch, the result would be a tower of paper stretching nearly 5,000 feet in the sky. So this is the Statue of Liberty here. This is the Washington Monument. I've been to both. This is all the documentation that they'd like to present in court, John. Right here. Take a good look. You think they're going to get to present all that? Oh my God.
Clown world. We live in a clown world.
And bro, I had a big conversation today with one of my network people. And I like them. They're nice people, not the RVM folks, but the other folks. And they're still holding on to a lot out of hope. They really don't think he's going to jail. And they really think that Trump still might be in control somehow. And I don't understand what they're thinking. This is it. This is the death blow to America. Oh, man. How's California after the vacation? First of all, tell people about the vacation. Tell people a little about freedom in Indiana. And then
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Indiana was nice. I noticed some great things about Indiana. Cost of living seemed well more than affordable. It seemed like there was a lot of nice, friendly people everywhere. I didn't see bums and homeless people. I didn't see litter really around. You have a wonderful rule called constitutional carry in Indiana, so you can carry your gun with you anywhere, and that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
got that constitutional carry thing here in Iowa. You know what? So we haven't talked in a few weeks. I went and saw Limp Bizkit like 3 weeks ago. I'm not sure if we talked about this yet, but basically, I don't know how it is. I'm sure in California, but you go to a sporting event, you go to New York, you go to a concert. You're not allowed to have even a plastic bottle full of booze anymore. They used to have, you could have the cans, and then they took away the cans. No glass bottles, of course. They made them to plastic bottles. Then they made them plastic bottles, and they had to crack them open. Now it's up to the point where they pour them out, or they give you, just from a tap, plastic cup. That's all they'll do.
Yep.
I go see Limp Bizkit, Iowa, Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds, on the track. Okay? First of all, beers are extremely reasonable. Tall boys.
$22.
Nope. I'm being serious. This is what I'm talking about. This is why Iowa's the shit, bro. You ready? So tall boys, and now they don't have a great, choices. I end up having to get like a Mick Ultra or some shit for tall boys, but whatever. You're at a concert. Tall boys are only $6.
No experience.
Yeah, tall boys are $6. Now, even better than that, they don't even crack them, and they're tall. They're giving them to you, so you don't even have a cup. They'll give them to you. So then, even better than that, you ready for this? They had plastic bags that they would fill with ice, and they would sell them in sixes to you, and you can buy as many as you want. So I'm not even kidding. You could have like a 6-bagger of tall boys and ice, and nobody unopened, and no one said that. They encourage it because they realize that we're really not going to hurt people. We're not going to throw them at the band, and we're civil, and we're human beings. We're not animals. However,
nice.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
We stopped in some amazing places and got to stretch our legs and look around a bit. It was pretty cool.
That is nice, right?
Took the kids to the Salt Flats. I managed to make the Salt Flats this year. Put it on the map. It's amazing. You guys see my Instagram? I'm on there on the Salt Flats. It looks like we're on the moon. It's pretty nice.
Is that where they shot the moon landing, John?
Probably, maybe.
So,
question a lot of stuff these days.
Like you
how?
do. So
we should have like little models we could send to the moon ourselves at this point.
Yeah, they're gonna. So the Artemis thing is right around the corner, and they're gonna supposedly send people not to land on the moon, but they're gonna send them around the moon. That's No, it's
90 years later.
Yeah. It's the moon. I'm sorry I got off because that's the dark cartoon, and most people are going to believe it, guys. They're going to believe we're going back to the moon. I was going to bring up, since we were talking about things that were controversial, I had Alex Stein on the program this week. And, I've known Stein for a while. And I didn't know that he actually asked Vivek Ramaswamy on his show whether or not 9/11 was an inside job. And what made me think about it is first he asked him if the moon landing was fake. And Ramaswamy's like, well, I really don't know much about it, but I'm going to assume that we went to the moon. And then he's like, 9/11 an inside job, yes or no? Go. And he didn't go inside job, but he said that we were lied to about 9/11 and the 9/11 Commission report was in fact, a sham or whatever. Yes. And he got all this hate in the mainstream media, and he stuck to his guns. It makes me like him a lot. And then RFK Jr. in that, I haven't watched the whole thing with him and the Tuckins, brought up the anthrax attacks and actually told the truth about that and how that was from our military and a targeted attack. So, I mean, shit's getting a little wild. Like, if that becomes the main line,
I think they're losing control. I think when they start losing control, they get more desperate and make bigger plays.
Yeah, they start arresting more people. That's what I think. They start arresting more people, which is making me a little nervous. Like, they have the American Liberty Awards this weekend in Texas, right? And I got nominated. I could have gone down there. I wanted to go to the Red Pill thing because, again, last chance probably to see G. Edward Griffin. However, if he does make another 6 months, guys, and they do another event, maybe I'll be speaking at that one. We'll see. But anyway, it is real that so many of these people, like, for instance, people are still ignoring the January 6thers, but some of those people are in solitary confinement for walking through a door. Just because of their political beliefs. And they're getting 4 to 5 years for some Johnny nonsense. They never had a criminal record in their life. So, if you don't think that they can extend that, or if you're just connected to the wrong person, like Donnie T or one of his cohorts, and they don't like you, that we're getting to that level. Well, like a pre-crime. That's scary. And if you think about it, if you can't have a real defense anymore for any of the charges, it might be time to get the flip out the country. I have no idea where I would go. I don't ever want to be that big of a political target.
El Salvador is looking for people to move there. They're very Bitcoin friendly. I hear they're going to waive taxes. For businesses using Bitcoin.
I can tan up, but see the difference right here? Like one side's much darker than the other.
They want outsiders, man.
I guess I'd have to brush up on my babble. That's another, we didn't even bring up crypto.
If you have money, they'll speak your language.
The last time we talked crypto, we were talking the orb and WorldCoin and all that. But we're only a few months away from the next halvening.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's coming up quick.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know what that means it could be an extremely volatile, up and down, pump and dump market for crypto around that time period. Maybe not on the day it happens, but certainly around that area. At the same time that you've seen our international credit rating go from AAA to AA. And then on top of that now, it looks like the credit of JP Morgan and Chase Bank might be downgraded as well. So we could have some real interesting economic times coming up even before 2024 hits everybody.
No, the happening is interesting because the Bitcoin rewards half. So they'll have to use the same amount of energy and power to get half the amount of reward. So it makes the Bitcoin more rare.
Well, and as that happens and the algorithm happens, there's just less to mine overall gradually. Obviously there's less to mine as it happens. But
we
then
get closer to that 21 million point, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what point is it at right now? How many have been minted?
A lot.
Yeah.
18 million or so.
How much?
I thought it was something like 17, 18 million.
Let's find out. Let's do it. We're going to do it live.
It's going to be on the internet somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure. Amount of Bitcoin currently in circulation. Oh, blockchain. Here we go. So, let's see. No, Google, you don't get that. Let's see. The total supply of Bitcoin is going to be 21 million. Right now, just over 19.4 are in circulation. So already you're at a point where it's only possible to mine another, what, 1.6? That's it. 1.6 million Bitcoin. So you're talking about, 95% of the Bitcoin is already in circulation right now.
Yep.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
Yep. Almost at the end point.
Yep. Well, no,
Mutable.
people will be probably in like 2020 or 2040 mining to try to get 1/100th of a Bitcoin.
And it'll be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Possibly. Like, who knows where we're going to be then? We're already in a dark
One
spot.
Bitcoin will be worth one Bitcoin. But no, yeah. Man, like I keep seeing I follow a lot of financial stuff, and there's a lot of creators who are telling people to get ready, brace yourself. Like,
what, for the economic?
All signs point to crash or something's going to happen.
A lot of people are saying that. I always think they're going as gradual as they can for as long as possible. But again, with this 2024 election, there's a real wild card in there. Because I feel like there's got to be an event, on top of all these trials on Donnie T to really disrupt everything. And we've already had a ton of mini events that normally, the Hawaii thing, the idea that that's not even bigger than it is. And I realize a lot of people are circulating like weird conspiracy, whether or not directed or who knows, who cares? You have a situation where a bunch of kids died and they still haven't found the kids' bodies. And that whole coastline is gone. It looks like most of that 1,000 that's missing.
That seems like a very bad explanation.
Yeah, all of it does.
It was windy.
Whole thing.
Oh, whoops.
Did you hear? So they didn't put on the sirens. And then after the fact, they made the excuse that if they put on the sirens, it usually means to tell people to go to higher ground. And then they sent all the kids back to school from school before it was going off, and they went home. And most of their parents weren't there because they were at work. So a lot of these are dead kids, man. More so than they're really letting on right now. And no one seems to be taught. That's what's really making my stomach churn about it. Obviously, I'm never happy with death or destruction or anything like that. But if it's a bunch of kids, if 70%, out of that 1,700 are kids, you could sit here and talk about all the school shootings you want all day, everybody. 700 fucking kids. I'm just saying, it's really bad. It makes me angry, John. Makes me angry with our news cycle and our system, and the fact that you got a zombie in there that can barely speak and can get asked about it and say no comment, and then go talk about Bidenomics and barely able to ramble anything off about Hawaii. Whew. Who's asking? Jason Bermas, is there a plea deal on the table for Julian Assange? No. What are you talking about? No, they're going to put him away forever. In fact, they don't even want him to go to trial. They want him to just die in Belmarsh before they even extradite him.
Just keep drawing it out, keep pushing it back. Just let it keep going out forever, and then he dies, and then they make it go away.
Fitch, there's no bare knuckle this weekend, which is upsetting. Bare knuckle last weekend was fantastic. Again,
there's a UFC.
Yes, let's talk about it. This is actually a pretty decent one. Bring it up.
Weidman's making his comeback.
Is he? I thought he was just sticking to grappling.
No, Weidman's fighting Tavares, so we'll see what happens.
That's a bad move for him. I see that now. That's
Tavares,
nuts.
though, is the hit or miss.
Yeah, but he's going to hit against him. I'll tell you right now. All right, so let's see what we got here.
Waylay is fighting Lemos, O'Malley and Sterling.
Mearshart.
Gary. There's some good fights.
Yeah, Cody Gibson. Austin Hubbard. Oh, this is the finale for Tough. This is the Tough finale. So that's pretty interesting. I'm interested in that now. Let's go, Austin Hubbard. Yeah. Woo! Come on, Austin. I hope he wins. I'll take the 155. I don't want to look down because I'm a couple behind, and I don't want to see who the 135 challenger is. Gregory Rodriguez is interesting. Let's see. Yeah, Weidman Tavares. Jeez. What's the odds? Yeah. They should probably even be worse than that. I think he should be a 4-1 favorite. He hasn't fought in years. John, you know as well as I do, especially when you're like not losing by decision, when you start getting chinny like that. I'm not trying to knock him.
I mean, it depends on if you can change your fighting style, if you can change the rock'em stock'em style to something that's more peekaboo, work yourself into clinches, keep yourself from getting hit first couple rounds, then you're talking. But most of these guys never do that. They never do that.
The other problem with that is you're putting him in there with a guy that's like a perennial top 15 guy in Tavares. You know, like, no. You know, I get it. He's not ranked right now. He's ranked a lot. It doesn't make sense to me. You put him up against another veteran that's really not even a perennial top 15 and on his way out, and see if he can get over that hurdle. That's my thing. Magny, I like that. He stays active. He's fighting a tough guy. Gary, that might be a late replacement with the odds like that too. Actually, no, it's not. They just got him 5-1. Jeez.
Oh.
They expect him to chainsaw Magny. He might.
They're pushing.
Gary's tough. I mean, that's bets. That's not the UFC. In fact, I remember watching Gary's last fight. He did look good. Huh. So that's another big fight on the main card. I can't believe O'Malley's only a 2.5-1 dog. I think he should be like a 3+ to 1 dog. Sterling should kill him. But then again, maybe he shocks the world. I don't think so either. I think he's got a chance.
Maybe, we'll see.
I mean, I guess anybody's got a chance, but no.
He can maybe. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He's fighting the big fights now. He was doing. I mean, I can't hate on him. He was doing the right thing. He was fighting lesser named guys for less money. Like, why not? Yeah, fight 10 nobodies until they start paying you, and then build up your social media in that process, and then you can start asking for real money. And
he was able to do it. He's worked the system better than most. You know that. He's worked the fame system, the fame game. That's what it is.
Hopefully that we get a change to that system, because our case may get injunctive relief, which means the judge will make a decision on business practices for them. Mm-hmm. And it could massively change the landscape of MMA.
Well, I'm always rooting for you, and I like to watch a lot of other cards, a ton. You know what I'm saying?
Think about a champion who's able to jump from promotion to promotion and fight for different belts.
And they're already kind of doing that a little bit with Ryzen and Bellator. Back and forth, but we need real free agents. We need real matchups. We need the ability of MMA stars to make the kind of money that boxing stars, or level it off somewhere. It's really the only sport that is this popular, and you can't make in the realm of tens of millions of dollars a year if you compete. Sometimes hundreds of millions.
Just pay the percentage. Just pay us a percentage of what we bring in. That's market value. We'll take care of the rest.
Fitch, you haven't seen This Place Rules, have you?
What's that?
Have you seen the film This Place Rules on HBO?
No, what's that about? Who's in that?
So, it's this guy. Do you know who Andrew Callahan is? Did a little man on the street interviews.
I don't think so.
Let's bring him up. Let's see if we can play it. I played it I don't know if I played it with Alex Stein. Alex Stein, I think, already had seen it and knew it, so it didn't matter. All right, so it's this guy right here. But he showed up to the Red Pill in like a Sacha Baron Cohen outfit to like punk everybody, and I ended up having to confront him because I've never seen anybody look good when he interviewed them.
The whole government is compromised. They made it seem like our votes counted, but our votes wasn't worth a lit fart in a wool mitten.
That seems like a good way to start the movie.
Dynamite.
My name's Andrew Callahan, and I first went viral online for interviewing people on the road, going to different conventions, conspiracy rallies, music festivals. Then in 2020, shit got super serious. Protests.
Police brutality, that shit is real.
It's revolution time. Pandemics. Remember that?
Freedom!
So, this is the story of the events that led up to the January 6th Capitol riot.
We are the storm!
As I saw them unfold.
You may have gone to bed thinking this election was headed one way, and then you woke up and saw things were different and trending increasingly in another direction.
Woo! We saved the country!
We did it. We did it, Joe.
Joe Biden is the apparent winner in the state of Wisconsin.
No more mail-in ballots, Mr. Mailbox.
So while it was true that everyday people on the right were being censored and kicked off social media,
98% of the media have a leftist agenda to bring in communism and a one-world government.
it only just pushed them to alt platforms. This is the sign for a boy lover. And into tighter and tighter echo chambers.
They've been sacrificing children to Moloch.
Animal, human clones?
I want to start a commune. If you need anything, you get it. There is no money.
No Trump! No KKK! No fascist USA!
We were pitted against each other by organizations and individuals who do not care about us and are enriched from our division.
You are the tip of the spear.
You ever feel like you've gone too far down the rabbit hole, man?
This is only the beginning.
What's the end?
There is no end.
So, as you can see, this guy is a comedian first and probably a journalist second. He's funny.
I think that's good enough to have you on here. I think
What's it called again?
This Place Rules. You should watch it.
Rules.
If you got HBO Max, I think you can watch it on there.
Yeah, we got it.
So yeah, This Place Rules. Watch it. So anyway, he showed up in like a mustache and his hair done different and an American flag tie at the Red Pill Expo. So at first, I recognized him sort of, but I couldn't place him. And then I was warning people after he left in the morning, hey, you're getting punked right now. But then he showed up later, and he was interviewing G. Edward Griffin. So I went and confronted him on camera. And I asked him if he... he knew right away. I guess we'll show it to you, Fitch. And there's like a minute there that's kind of silent. But it's worth watching again. He gave me, he interviewed me, and it's probably going to make me look bad. But he did give me his number. And I haven't. He says he's going to come on the show in November, probably after he puts together what he's going to put together here. That because he said when I confronted him, he said it was for his YouTube channel, but he hasn't posted to his YouTube channel in 7 months. And the stuff that he has posted were clips of that movie. He says he's not working with HBO anymore, but who knows? But this is him as I approach him, so he knows he's caught right away. You'll see. So, as you can see, he's not very happy. Again, but I'm not going to let him punk G. Edward. Sorry. What's going on? Oh, I see.
To a little kid like you, raised up in the east side of Detroit, just considered to be
so again, pretty low here. But I'll say this, after this, he's nice to him and he gets up. But you'll see.
I had no idea of that.
I know, look at that mustache, right? And those sunglasses. Come on.
My grandmother, over the other side of town, was fortunate enough to go to school, learn a few things.
And you hear me breathing and steaming in the background. I'm not happy.
What do you think is the main issues facing the world today?
Freedom.
I would say one of those. It's individual responsibility, individual self-identification, the freedom to be fulfilled on what you want to do and what you feel you should do. Freedom to be you.
Cool. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
So what name should I put in there?
You can just put Andrew.
A-N-D-R-E-W.
Yeah, thanks.
You gonna read it, Andrew?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna read it.
Are you?
Andrew,
I mean, do you think it's okay becoming deceptive at places like this and tell people that you're from channel whatever? I know who you are.
Wait till you see the video that we make.
Okay, so this is gonna be on. This isn't a documentary thing.
No, this is for YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I promise.
So it's YouTube, but you're not channel whatever.
I am Channel 5.
Are you?
So that's his scam. Like his YouTube channel is called Channel 5 News. So, like I didn't realize I'd seen him on the peripheral, like from clips getting posted, other than the movie. You know, he also did Hot Ones. I'd seen him on Hot Ones, but the movie, like I said, the movie's funny and it just rips apart everybody. But no one ever looks good in anything he does.
Yeah, I'm Channel 5 on YouTube.
Channel 5 on YouTube. Okay. Well, I'm just saying I don't like the deception, man. I watch your stuff. Some of your stuff's okay, but you know you're coming here to punk these people. Yes, you are. 100% you are. Come on, man.
Andrew, what's your most important thing?
In life?
In life.
Probably being independent, not selling out.
That's good.
I mean, this is the guy. That's why, I highly respect Cheetor Griffin. I would hate to have you put him in a negative light.
Because I'll give you 10 grand if he looks bad.
10 grand?
Yes.
Well, that's nice. I'm Jason Bermas.
That's very nice. So anyway, he gets up after that, and we have a big conversation. I wish I had taped that as well. But sometimes you got to call people out on their bullshit, man. You know, I'm hoping he's going to come on, and you know what? Maybe he's going to be respectful. He says he's reading the book. Maybe he's going to have his moment. I don't know. You never know. Hopefully we can reach people. But yeah, you should watch This Place Rules. It'll be a good one, I promise, Fitch. Fitch, tell people what you got going on and where they can find you.
Go to johnfish.net. Sign up for the newsletter. I just finished a whole bunch of seminars, and I've got to edit those things and make them available on the Gumroad. Follow the link trees in my social medias, bios. I got fitness programs, my meal plan, and a bunch of martial arts stuff. Right, jiu-jitsu, fighting, you name it.
Very good stuff. And you guys know I'm always on. I mean, I'm on Monday through Thursday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. And then I'm on 6 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. We've had some great guests on recently. I just did a great interview with Naomi Wolf. I just did another great interview with Ken McCarthy. We're killing it over there. And I want to thank all you guys because I wouldn't be able to do it without your support. I wouldn't be able to travel to places like Des Moines. I'm going to be in Las Vegas next week speaking at the Clay Clark event. So, guys, thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Give John a good follow over at Rockfin and Rumble and everywhere else, even over on the YouTube. I mean, we did this whole show on the YouTube. Can't believe it. Didn't even bring up some boopity-boops or any kind of nightmares. We did it. Fitch, we'll see you on the flip.